Today I'm going to be interviewing Tammy, and Tammy works at a law firm, and first question I will ask Tammy is, do you like being a paralegal?
Yes.
And what do you like about it?
I think it holds your interest. It's a variety of situations. You're working with people. It's not the same thing over and over again. The processes are relatively the same, but each case is an individual case with individual situations. So it always piques your interest.
That's good. How long have you been a paralegal?
I've actually been doing this on and off for 38 years.
Wow. So you know your stuff.
What I work in, I pretty much know.
Cool. And would you recommend this field to me?
Yes, I would recommend the field. I think it's an interesting field. There's a lot of on-the-job training. A lot of the work that you do, you learn as you go, so to speak. And even though you may have book learning, situations change constantly.
So there's always something new to learn.
So it's always interesting.
Right. How many lawyers do you work for?
I work in a law firm that has probably about 25 lawyers, but I work for one lawyer, and I've worked for him for 20 years.
So you know each other pretty well, and you have a good relationship?
Yes, a very good relationship. Mm-hmm.
So you do like him? That means you like him? It's good to
like to fool around and say that I have him trained now.
That's great. And do you get satisfaction from your job?
Yes, I do.
And what area do you specialize in?
I primarily do divorce.
Okay.
I do estate administration, mostly. I do a few PIs on the side, and I've done the wills and so forth. I've done real estate, but primarily it would be estate work and domestic.
Okay, you said PIs?
Personal injury.
Oh, okay. You did mention you had some on-the-job training. Was there any mentoring available?
No, you kind of get thrown into it, and you ask the other people around you different questions as you go along, and you learn it.
Right, you just
and one of the secrets I found that was important is, when my boss gives me things, is to read everything thoroughly, because a lot of times explanations are in what you're reading. And I find that helps me a lot. And I like to read the case. I don't just blindly take something. I like to read all the details so that I know what I'm dealing with.
That's good. Is it just interesting? Every case sounds...
Well, you have what I call wham-bam divorces or whatever, where the two people want to get divorced, there's no assets, there's no children, there's no support involved, and you just have the beginning documents, and then 3 months later you can do the closing documents and finalize the divorce. And there's not much client contact at that point. Then you have situations, especially if you're involved with custody, support, property distribution. That's where you can have a lot of disputes and a lot of controversy and so forth. But there are guidelines, and basically we try to work it out where there's agreements between the parties. That's what we strive for.
Right.
It doesn't always work that way.
Right. Do you ever interview your client?
Only if my boss is not there, but my boss primarily does.
What's difficult about your job?
That's a tough question. You can get frustrated at times. I'm a very structured person. I go by timelines. If I don't get client cooperation or whatever, people are not providing me with the information that's necessary, say, for example, for me to do an inheritance tax return. It can be frustrating in that regard. And, I mean, the truth is, every once in a while my boss doesn't listen to me. And he should.
Because you know what's going on
Yeah.
100% of the time.
Well, most of the time I try.
Well, this was a great interview. I have no more questions. I want to thank Tammy very much for this great interview that she gave me.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Everything you do.
Thanks so much.
And I hope that you feel inspired, and I hope that you will complete your courses and move into this field. It really is very interesting and diversified.
Right. It's great to be not doing the same thing every day. That can be
Right. Like
monotonous.
I said, the procedures are basically the same in a lot of these situations, but you're dealing with an individual clients all along, and so things change. So it does make it more interesting.
So it'll never be boring.
No.
It'll never be boring. Again, thank you, Tammy,
Oh,
so
you're
much.
welcome.
This was great.
My pleasure.